December 2018. A 30-year-old man boards a flight to India, and in his pocket is a passport, a wedding ring, and the passwords to $215 million that isn't his. 12 days later he's dead, and the money is gone. The passwords are buried with him, and the body was cremated before anyone could ask questions. Here's the problem. Nobody believes he's actually dead. This is the story of Gerald Cotten, Canada's crypto king, and either he's the unluckiest man in financial history or the smartest. Let's dive into it. Chapter 1. The Rise. The year is 2013. Bitcoin is trading at $100 and most people think it's a scam. Gerald is 25. He's quiet and smart, and he's just launched Canada's first major crypto exchange, Quadriga CX. And the pitch is dead simple. We make buying Bitcoin easy, and it works. By 2017, Quadriga is processing over $1 billion in trades, hundreds of thousands of users, and Cotten becomes a crypto celebrity and is living the dream. But here's what nobody knew. The whole thing was being run like a lemonade stand. Just Gerald alone with everyone's money. And here's the kicker. He was the only person with access to the cold wallets. The only one who could move funds. One man, one password, $200 million. What could possibly go wrong? Chapter 2. Cracks starting to form. The year is 2017. Bitcoin hits 20k and Quadriga is exploding. The deposits are flooding in. Millions every week. But the withdrawals are slowing down. Users start complaining. Where's my money? It's been 3 months and I can't reach support. Cotten's response, banking delays. We're working on it. He was lying. Behind the scenes, Quadriga was a dumpster fire. Cotten was using new customer deposits to pay old withdrawals. Textbook Ponzi scheme. But it gets even worse. He was also gambling, using customer funds to day trade on other exchanges and losing millions on bad bets. And meanwhile, he's living like a king. He has a mansion in Nova Scotia worth $1.2 million, yacht, check, sports car, check, private plane shares, check, charity donations to keep up his public image, check. And by 2018, the walls are closing in. The banks are freezing Quadriga's accounts, regulators are asking questions, so Gerald does what any rational person would do. He books a honeymoon to India. Chapter 3. The Disappearance. December 9th. 2018, India. Gerald Cotten checks into a luxury resort with his wife Jennifer. Within 24 hours, he's in hospital. Complications from Crohn's disease, they say. 24 hours after that, he's dead. 30 years old, no autopsy. His wife returns to Canada with his ashes and one hell of a story. He was the only one with the passwords, and he took them to the grave. $215 million locked away forever because one guy died. By January 2019, Quadriga filed for bankruptcy, and the cold wallets, they were empty. The passwords gone, and the money vanished. 115,000 people, teachers, nurses, retirees, kids saving for college, locked out of their life savings. And that's when people started asking, what if he's not actually dead? Chapter 4. The Evidence. Let's talk about the death certificate. His name is spelled wrong, Cotten with an A instead of Cotten with an E. The body was cremated within 48 hours before anyone could actually verify that it was him. And then there's the timing. 2 weeks before his trip to India, Cotten updated his will and left everything to his wife, $9.6 million in assets. He also set up encrypted communication channels and stopped responding to angry customers. The RCMP investigated, so did the FBI, and their conclusion was $169 million was misappropriated, never recovered. And as for Gerald Cotten's body, nobody's confirmed it's actually him in that grave in Nova Scotia. Online, the sightings start pouring in. I saw him in Bangkok. That's definitely him in Singapore. 5 years later, with $215 million gone and one question that nobody can answer. Is Gerald Cotten actually dead? Chapter 5. The Truth. So here's what we know for sure. Quadriga CX was a fraud. Cotten was running a Ponzi scheme, he gambled away customer money, lied about it. Whether he died in India or faked his death, that's still a mystery. But his wife Jennifer Robertson claims she knew nothing. She kept around $90,000 after surrendering their assets, and the courts believed her. But the victims, they got pennies on the dollar. Some lost everything. Marriages ended, businesses collapsed. There are documented cases of Quadriga victims taking their own lives. So this isn't just a story about crypto, it's a story about trust. Cotten built an empire on promise. Your money's safe with me. But there were no audits, no transparency, just a guy in his basement with a laptop and a dream, or a con man. Gerald Cotten's story became a thing of legends. Netflix made a documentary about it called Trust No One, The Hunt for the Crypto King. But the real lesson isn't about crypto, it's about power. When one person holds all the keys, you don't own your money, they do. And when they disappear, whether it's into a grave or on a beach in Asia, there's nothing you can do about it. So here's the question. Do you think Gerald Cotten is still alive? If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe as we upload every Sunday.